he read, Jim, was Dostoevsky's The Gambler. He's about a 7 or 8 to 1 underdog. Dostoevsky went broke betting on underdogs like that.
Knockouts over the last 5 opponents. Interestingly, that weight of 214 and a half is the least he's weighed for any fight in more than 3 years. His last couple fights he weighed on the order of 223.
You know, he's a kind of an old counterculture character. That hairdo, which his girlfriend started out with something else, wound up with this. He eats biologically or biotically, as you said earlier. He meditates. Very interesting character.
Zeljko Mavrovic with the Mavrobiotic diet. 27 wins, no losses again. 22 KOs. First time in a championship fight, and some around him say that he seems a little uptight as he faces the pressures of this event. In the profile piece, you met the girlfriend, Yelena Balabanic, who for reasons apparent right there has made quite a splash here in Connecticut.
Not only that, but she's an amateur astrologist who is very honest. When I asked her about it just a few minutes ago, she said this is not the best time for him, but he can still win.
Aquarius Sun, Scorpio rising. That would be Zeljko, not Yelena.
We hope it's not Scorpio falling.
To enter the ring. And whose hairstyles now look relatively normal by comparison to Mavrovic. Virgo's son, Lennox Lewis.
The pressure is on Lennox Lewis, but great athletes make opportunity out of pressure. Right, George?
Yeah, that's one thing about being an underdog. All the pressure's off.
Larry Coleman, a great athlete. Has Lennox earned, in your view, the title of great fighter, George?
He's in a strange situation. He's heavyweight champ of the world, but he doesn't even seem to know it. To keep referring to the other guys as the champion. He should stop that. Just recognize who he is for himself.
33 wins, 1 loss. It took him a long time to live down that surprise knockout at the hands of Oliver McCall, later avenged in the strange defeat of an obviously disturbed McCall. 5 of those knockouts in the first round, including the thunderous one against Andrew Galata a year ago. While you're watching the fight, log on to HBO's comprehensive boxing website at www.hbo.com/boxing. You can check in on stats, compare how you scored the fight with other fans across the country. And now let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mohegan Reservation here in the heartland of Connecticut, USA, home of the Mohegan Sun Casino, where tonight, main events, Panics Promotions, and your undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser. This Buds for You present 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. Sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribal Gaming Commission, Chairman Roland Harris, and the State of Connecticut Athletic Commission. Commissioner Mark Schifrin, Executive Director John Burns, Timekeeper at the bell Lou Dell, counting for the knockdown seconds Michael Ortega. Your physicians in attendance at ringside, Dr. Michael Schwartz, Dr. Anthony Alessi, and Dr. Joseph Carpentieri, along with Dr. Walter Ialachi. This bout is also sanctioned by the World Boxing Commission. President in attendance tonight, Jose Suleiman. Supervisor for the WBC is its General Secretary, Mario Latraverse. The 3 judges scoring this bout on the 10-point plus system will be Francisco Criminale of Italy, Tommy Kazmarek from the USA, and Bob Logis of Belgium. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action from the United States, Frank Cappuccino. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, good luck. Let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, in the blue corner, wearing white and weighing 214 1/4 pounds. He comes to the ring with a perfect professional record, consisting of 27 straight victories, 22 of which are by knockout. He has traveled thousands of miles and waited his entire career for this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, from Zagreb, Croatia, here is the former undefeated European heavyweight champion and the WBC #1 ranked heavyweight challenger in the world, Zeljko Mavrovic. And across the ring, in the red corner, wearing white trimmed with red, weighing 243 pounds. He comes to the ring tonight with an outstanding professional record. Since capturing Olympic gold in 1988, he has 23 professional victories, 27 by knockout, with only one defeat, and that defeat has been avenged. From London, England, presenting the two-time heavyweight world champion, the reigning and defending WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Hughes.
Good evening, gentlemen. Both of you were given your instructions in the dressing room. Both of you touch gloves, touch gloves, touch gloves. Buck, I leave it with you.
Lennox Lewis might be the best heavyweight in the world, but he also might be one punch away from disaster. And it's that perceived vulnerability that makes each of his fights so tantalizing.
Shannon Briggs managed to get Lewis in trouble in his last fight, for which I think Lewis trained to fight about a minute. Ultimately wasn't able to put Briggs away until the 5th, but his punching power will make the difference against most of his opponents. And, of course, Lewis goes into every fight, George, trying to remember to throw his jab and looking to land his big right hand.
Yeah, by nature, he's got this confidence, almost a little bit of conceit that he does not have to start the fight off and land the first punch. That gets him into a lot of trouble. As you can see, his opponent came out, faked him, and made him get on the run, only because he doesn't feel like he should take charge quick.
Lewis dropping a right hand to the body as though he wants to bring Mavrovic's left down, but look at how low Mavrovic holds the left. I mean, if ever an opponent for Lewis has been open to the right hand, it appears this is the guy.
Got a little bleeding in the nose already by Mavrovic.
Hey, listen, when I say
right away, Mavrovic is fighting in an unexpected style, forcing the issue.
Yeah, he's taking charge. You know, the old saying is someone has got to land the first punch. He may as well be the heavyweight champion of the world. Why should you wait and counter?
stop, break, break.
Doesn't matter who it is. If he's 200 pounds, throws enough shots at you, he's going to get you. And in the first round, Lewis just doesn't take a good punch. Doesn't know how to fight tall. He's a big, tall man. He should just stand up straight, make punches, just hit him on the chest.
That's a good point. He doesn't use his height advantage as much as some of his critics think that he should. He flattens himself out by spacing his feet extremely wide apart and then leaning over to the opponent sometimes as well.
Yeah, and so it causes him to be in a lot of awkward positions. But if he just stand tall, take charge, and let that jab fly out, fake every now and then, do some feints, get right in by Lewis that time.
Lewis looking just to land here in the first round. He's only thrown one real all-out hard right hand. There he throws to the body again. You don't often see Lennox using the right hand to the body, and there's a combination by Mavrovic as he tries to step up the intensity. Sticks the jab, Lewis's face.
He's doing everything he ought to do in the first round because that's when Lewis is really weak. And Lewis should be landing the left jabs to the chest now. He shouldn't aim his shots to the head right now. This guy's head's going to be a little elusive because he's smaller.
Zeljko Mavrovic able to land in the first round, as did Shannon Briggs in the last Lewis assignment. Briggs landed more than 60% of the punches he tried in round number 1. Zeljko's accuracy might be as high, though he's not throwing as many punches as Briggs did in that early flurry against Lennox.
Lewis is already starting to lean back as though he's a big counter-puncher now. Throws his jab and step back. That could be dangerous. Here's a guy who's small, who's quick. He can catch him on the way back.
Well, it's interesting. Lennox, from the beginning of his professional career, has been described by Larry Merchant as a natural counterpuncher. He's trained by a guy, Emmanuel Stewart, who specializes in attacking fighters.
Working the left jab and his left eye. He's trying to get a right hand over top. Jab it up high. You understand? When you break up your right hand, he's trying to keep jabbing it up high and keep your right hand in here. Don't get it out of here because you're going to catch him when he's throwing. Because if he runs in that, he's like that. Right through the middle. Down the middle, baby. Right down the middle. Every right hand, clean it up. He's getting up. He's getting up. He's getting up when you come away.
Hustle all the time. Don't stand there with him. Hustle all the way. Okay? Hands up. Hustle. 10 seconds. Get him in there out of the first 5 rounds, then you can start taking over. He's blowing now. All right? Don't stand for the big shots early on. Roll. Hustle all the time. Hustle with him. Okay? Look at the ground, Johnny.
Stay snapping with your shots on the point. And bring the shit down the middle. Come back with the hook gun.
CompuBox numbers in round number 1. Lewis was 14 of 43, throwing 28 jabs. Mavrovic 7 of 22. Harold Letterman gave the first round to Lennox Lewis.
Now Lewis is starting to throw the jab or the chest now. When you're fighting someone who has no fear of you, you're just going to have to take charge. Make him back up for a couple of rounds. Maybe we're just starting to take charge of his jab a little now.
So you're saying that Mavrovic is fighting as though he has no fear of Lennox?
He has no fear. As a matter of fact, he's going to the body with the proper jab execution. And he steps to his left. Lewis pretty much doesn't know what he's going to do. He goes to the left and then he backs up as though he's got his right hand waiting.
Now when Mavrovic moves to his left, and in the fights that we saw on tape, George, he seems to move almost exclusively to his left when he moves sideways. He's going toward Lewis's right hand. Bad idea or a good idea?
Lewis has a good right hand, but it takes him a little time to get his confidence up to start throwing that right hand. So it's not like you ought to be afraid in the first few rounds. He is actually stepping with his jab. He pushes off on his right foot and steps in as though he wants that jab to hit.
Over the right eye of the challenger. I don't know how bad it is yet. I do see some blood.
Now Lewis is starting to use his height advantage a little bit. He jabs and he doesn't step too far back. Just stay there.
Solid jab and right hand by Lewis a couple of sequences ago. And you can see the little trickle of blood above the right eyelid of Mavrovic that Larry pointed out. He insisted to us in our fighter meeting yesterday that he has never really been cut in the ring.
Stop! Break!
So if in fact that's a cut above the right eye, it would be a first.
And Lewis is giving his opponent a lot of confidence. Unnecessary, he's going to make it rough for him because he backs up. You don't want to back up.
Is Lewis showing too much respect to Mavrovic?
Too much respect, and this it creates a tough fight for you. Make him back up most of the time. Step forward with your jab, bump in with your big extra weight. Make him decide, hey, I'm getting tired. I got to move out of the way.
It's like just a tiny pinhole cut above Mavrovic's right eye, but it is above the eyelid. So if it widens and blood flows, it could conceivably affect Mavrovic's vision. On the jab side for Lewis.
Lewis goes wisely back to the body with his jab.
On rare occasions, Lewis will flank the left hook. That was such an important weapon for him in his win over Tommy Morrison.
Stop punching, stop, break! Step back!
Lewis would probably like to see more of the left hook from Lewis, but basically, let's face it, Lennox is a jab and right hand fighter. Jelena Balabanic with 22 to applaud as her man makes it safely through the first couple of rounds and seems to be establishing himself in there. Join us next Saturday night for the rebroadcast of last week's welterweight championship fight between Oscar De La Hoya and Julio Cesar Chavez. Action-packed, with an ending that surprised most at ringside. Also featured in this World Championship boxing telecast, a live junior lightweight championship bout between junior lightweight title holder Genaro Hernandez and 1996 Olympic bronze medalist Floyd Mayweather, unbeaten in the early stages of his pro career. That all begins at 10:15 p.m. Eastern, 7:15 Pacific time.
You know you can do 12, 13 rounds like that. Okay?
Hustle him all the time.
That's nothing to worry about. Get on with your job. You're doing great.
Let's go, seconds. Let's go. That point. Don't lock that there. Don't go right there.
Mavrovic has shown that he can fight a little. He's going to have to fight a lot to change this fight around.
Well, he's not busy enough to be winning rounds. He threw only 21 total punches by CompuBox numbers in round 2, and Lewis threw 32 jabs among his 41 punches.
Now Lewis starts to take charge a little bit. He's not stepping backwards, rubbing his back on the rope like a small man. He's looking like a big man now. And I think it's the best thing that could happen to Mavrovic. Am I saying that correct? He goes back to the corner. He's facing some adversity. Now you know, hey, look, just pull it out. We're not going to give him anything.
You're doing a heck of a job on the Mavrovic, George. And there's the jab of Lewis. Snap. Whoa, a good right hand by the Mavrovic. Yep, Mavrovic came over the top of that right hand. Just the way Vaughn Bean launched right hands over the top last week against Evander Holyfield. Lewis misses with the right. Sticks a little left in Mavrovic's face. And the crowd at ringside chanting, Zeljko, Zeljko.
Lewis has done nothing to make this guy.
Come on, you guys.
He seems to go in the proper circle. He jabs, they jab. Nothing goes out of the ordinary. You should step to his right every now and then. To Lewis's own right, throw a right hand, throw things off a little bit. Make it hard for the less experienced fighter.
Zeljko Mavrovic, probably the first vegetarian to fight in a heavyweight championship fight.
Let him out.
His macrobiotic diet consists of fish, vegetables, and fruits. Lots of tofu.
Now this guy's taking charge of the fight now. Lewis is the one holding on, seriously holding on.
George, if Zeljko Mavrovic upsets Lennox Lewis, are you going to start grilling tofu on your outdoor barbecue grill? Tofu grills up very nicely, too.
It's nice for those who like it.
High break. Step back.
Now the left jab starts to double up with Lennox Lewis. He doesn't do anything afterwards. You got to jab, and then secure your position in the ring so that the other guy backs away.
Why not throw 3 or 4 jabs and then a right cross and a left hook? I mean, the guy is standing there more or less open. He hangs his chin out. Now he's got his hands farther up. But a lot of the time, Mavrovic has his hands down near his waist, George. As of course, Lennox does right there.
Yeah, so there's no reason to be extra careful. At some point, Lennox Lewis is going to have to just decide, hey, I'm the big champion. Now he pushes him away a little bit.
Lewis, a noted chess player, went away from the ring, has played 3 rounds of chess with Zeljko Mavrovic here.
He gave it the first 2. That one I call easy. You may have gotten it for a jab, but he's throwing right hands, and you're still in the right hands, but you got to start returning something to make him quit throwing some in the right hand. See how they come back with your straight right hand. You understand? You got to make him quit throwing that left hand. Right there. Either throw a check hook. You see it come and throw the check hook, or either shield it and come back, or either roll it.
Body chop into the head. How you feeling? Okay? Don't drop your hands and kick him until he's got that long reach. You've got to hustle with him all the time. Hustle. Okay?
His mouth already dropping over.
Lewis has been shooting his jab. That's about as hard a jab as he throws. Mavrovic, as you can see, tried to throw a right hand over it. His obvious strategy in this fight so far has been trying to land right hands, thinking that that's where Lewis is most vulnerable.
Hard right hand over the top by Lewis. Backs Mavrovic up. Another right hand knocks him into the corner. Most aggressive posture so far for Lewis.
That's a no-no, man.
I think Lewis should try to win the fight and let the knockout happen by itself.
Right uppercut lands for Lewis as Mavrovic is coming in.
All right, stop.
You start trying to force a knockout too early, the guy survives, and then you have a real fight on your hand. Let that right hand just slide out of the pure and natural flow of things, not just press it.
Harold, how'd you score the first three?
Hey, Jim, I think I just saw two fights. The first 3 rounds, and then the fourth is another fight. In the first 3 rounds, Lennox looked lackadaisical. I had a 2-1 Lewis. But I want to tell you, in the fourth round, he's certainly picking up the pace. I mean, he's fighting a different fight altogether. He's going out, he's throwing shots. Yeah, jump on him, drop the right hands.
Get him loose, get him loose.
The Mavrovic stole by dropping right hands on Lewis because he looked very lackadaisical. But the fourth round, it's a different Lewis.
The thing about it, though, you're 240 some odd pounds, and maybe 50 by tonight. You don't want to waste a lot of energy slinging those big right hands. It comes back to haunt you if this guy is able to survive. Let them flow naturally.
All of the people around Lewis expected to be going some rounds tonight. Lennox hadn't gone more than 5 rounds in more than 3 years.
That's a no-no. Lennox, watch the
You know, you throw a good left jab, but you got to learn how to stay in the pocket. You step and you slide, so you don't have to worry about the guys coming right in. That's what Lewis needs to do. Get in the pocket, jab, don't move back afterwards, slide forward. But to the left a little bit.
Problem with Lewis, George, is he's got those size 16 boats on his feet. Hard for him to move around.
Well, it takes a little courage too to stay in that pocket. It's like a quarterback. Can't have any fear. You got to believe. Whoops, left hook
By Mavrovic. And another left hand.
Stop. Break.
So just as other Lewis opponents have found him easy to find in there, guys have landed at significant connect rates against Lewis, and Mavrovic is landing close to 40% of his punches coming into this round. Just not throwing all that many. He was only averaging 21 punches per round in the first 3.
That doesn't get it, guys.
No, it's not busy enough. Right hand over the top, glancing land for Mavrovic. Lewis ties him up. This has been by far the most aggressive round in the fight for the champion, Lennox Lewis.
Mavrovic is doing a good job, you see.
That was a good right hand. Finished the round 4. And coming up December 8th, HBO Sports presents the next edition of Sports of the 20th Century. Sugar Ray Robinson, The Bright Lights and Dark Shadows of a Champion. A documentary that traces the triumphs and tragedies of the boxer so many experts call the greatest pound-for-pound fighter of all time. Winner of 6 world titles and 175 fights in his career. Robinson outside the ring was a fearless and flashy showman whose final days were marked by sickness and poverty. Sugar Ray Robinson, The Bright Lights and Dark Shadows of a Champion, coming December 8th on HBO.
Be careful early on, be careful. Lift up the body, lift up to the top, all right? Hustle all the time, hustle.
When you're going forward, you win in a fight. That's when you're starting.
Now, George, as I watched these rounds, I tried to project Evander Holyfield against Lewis, coming at him as he does, as we know he would. What do you see happening there? Is Lewis not prepared for that kind of pressure?
I think so. It's just the opponent tonight is unpredictable. He's come in a lot lighter. Lewis has evidently been training with bigger guys, so he can't get the rhythm on this guy. He's a little quick. It's going to take a moment. You got to bump him and bump into him and let him feel that extra weight that you have. Lewis hasn't done that. With Holyfield, I think he'd be more predictable.
Lands for Lennox Lewis. Of course, the question in a fight between Lewis and Holyfield is who would attack who.
Well, we know Holyfield attacked.
Break! Yeah, I think so.
Let him out.
Here, Mavrovic has played the role of counterpuncher and occasionally flurries.
Let him go.
Lands when he does, but still doesn't throw nearly as many punches as the champion Lennox Lewis.
Let's stop the holding, both
Case
of
in
them.
point, round 4, 42 punches thrown by Lewis, only 19 counted by CompuBox for Mavrovic. Hard uppercut snaps Mavrovic's head down.
Let him go. Lewis can win this fight with his left jab. I don't know why he doesn't continue to throw it. They need the extra power that he keeps tumbling in like that.
Well, he often forgets to throw the jab as frequently as his trainer Emmanuel Stewart would like for him to, and when he fails to throw the
right hand by the challenger,
that's when other guys land against him, as was the case there.
Let him go. See, when you throw that left jab, you also must step with him.
Listen.
Step in a circle.
When I say break,
it's
you
called
both
the
break.
tight circle, so that the guy has to move on this. He throws the jab and stands there.
When he throws the jab, as he's been doing here for the last 20 seconds, the opponent doesn't get off many shots in return, as you can see has been the case here. All he has to do is throw it. He doesn't even have to land. It chokes off his opponent's punch output.
Now, the reality is that Lewis has landed almost all
Body shot, right hand to the body.
the right punches. That's about as good a body punches I've ever seen Lennox Lewis throw.
It happened almost as an accident, and this kid is still hurting by it. You don't want to go right back to it now. He's got his hands lowered so that you can throw the right hand right to the head now.
Lewis's right hand goes straight through the guard of Zeljko Mavrovic. One of the dangers when you have the kind of thunder in the right hand that Lewis believes he has is that you start out right hand crazy and stay that way. That's why he's a
Body shot by Lewis.
He's throwing more of his weapons in the last round and a half.
And plus he's bumping this guy. He's using his extra weight. Bump into him. When you miss him, let him feel your big body.
And with another right uppercut as the round came to a close.
And the challenger seemed to stagger to his corner.
For whatever reason, he doesn't counterpunch. He's a good guy coming forward, but when you come to him, he don't counterpunch. Okay, he does not counterpunch, but when you go into him, all he's doing is trying to anticipate your move. He does not get on the counterpunch in a state of mind, so keep taking the fight to him, because he cannot counterpunch. Once you go forward, the whole fight changes its whole complexion. So keep taking it, and plus you're taking your weight right into it.
Land that right hand and knee.
Just a matter of time. You'll be
On
closer
the
to him
point
now.
with the left shoulder. He's going to come in. He goes right in. Because he's hustling you out of it. You know, you're waiting and waiting. You've got to hustle. Medium shot. When he opens up, he's open. You can hit him. All right? And he don't take it all.
There you see a real good uppercut inside, and here's that body shot we were pointing out before. That was just a replay of the uppercut. Goodbye body shot.
Lennox Lewis' corner gave him some good advice. Said this guy does not counterpunch well. Keep taking the fight to him.
And Lewis lands a right hand to open the round and comes back to the right and the left, and now Mavrovic's punch output is down to about 0 as Lewis attacks and lands another uppercut. Low blow by Lewis.
All right, break. Stop. Break.
Another fight when he takes the aggressive and keeps his opponent on the corner.
Well, Emmanuel Stewart pointed out that whenever Lennox is punching, the opponent isn't doing much. He's bouncing back.
There's another sizzling uppercut, and this time Mavrovic leans on Lewis as though for support. That was a blunt flush uppercut that landed, and Mavrovic is taking these punches reasonably well, but you wonder how long that will be the case.
Stop. Break.
As I said earlier,
Come on,
you
you
take it to
guys.
Lewis in the first couple of rounds, and a lot of rounds you move. Take care of yourself, and then wait and come on again later on. Now he's using those big, long arms. When the challenger throws, he just throws his arms up.
Break.
Yeah, the recent blueprint for how to fight Lewis was established by Ray Mercer in his 10-round decision loss to Lewis May 10, 1996 in Madison Square Garden. The last time Lewis went the distance, it was a very close fight. Lewis got the decision by piling up points on his jab, but a lot of people thought Mercer could have gotten the decision, and he landed a lot of blows against Lewis by slipping Lennox's jab and firing his own.
Could have been the best thing for Lennox Lewis. Now he knows about adversity. Knows he's never going to be given everything just because you're champion.
No. Let him go.
Mavrovic has a red line across the bridge of his nose and swelling around the right eye, but still no flow of blood from the cut we saw in the first couple of rounds of the fight.
That body punch of Lewis changed a lot of stuff there.
Mavrovic has been trying to hide a lot more ever since that body punch.
It takes a while sometimes when big guys hit you around the ribs.
Break!
The advantage for Lennox Lewis is that he's fought in Europe a lot. So he's accustomed to that stand-up style. And doesn't get perplexed. Things are not getting hard to understand.
And if Lennox was showing Mavrovic respect earlier in the fight, he certainly isn't now. Look at where he's holding his hands, George. It's as though he sees this as target practice.
Now, Mavrovic hardly threw any punches in that round.
October brings to HBO a month full of boxing, beginning next Saturday night with the doubleheader that features veteran Genaro Hernandez defending his junior lightweight title against undefeated 1996 Olympic bronze medalist Floyd Mayweather, and the rebroadcast of last week's thrilling welterweight championship battle between Oscar De La Hoya and Julio Cesar Chavez, a much better fight than we expected. Then on October 24, Boxing After Dark presents a lightweight matchup between former champs Gabe Willis and Jesse James Leija, along with 1996 Olympic gold medalist David Reed taking on James Coker. To finish off the month on October 31, featherweight champion Prince Nassim Hamed meets Irish rival Wayne McCullough. 3 big October nights of boxing that you won't want to miss, all coming up on HBO.
Keep the pressure on.
Mavrovic fought that last round.
Keep the pressure on. As long as you got him back it up, he's really confused. Now keep him confused.
As I was saying, Mavrovic fought that last round almost as if he was conceding.
He only threw 15 punches by CompuBox numbers. Now he comes out and starts round 7 with a couple of blows, as though he wants to reestablish himself in the fight. But Lewis had an easy time of it in round 6, landing 16 of 38, mostly power shots. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 6?
Jim, 59-55, 5 rounds to 1, Lennox Lewis. The only round I gave Zeljko Mavrovic is the 12th round. I thought in the 6th round, Lennox gave him a terrible beating. Mavrovic did absolutely nothing in that 6th round. It seems that when Lennox hits him with that up jab and Mavrovic feels the power, he just starts punching. Goes into a defensive mode like he is now.
George, Lennox lands every uppercut. Is that because Mavrovic holds his hands wide apart?
It's because early on Lennox Lewis was stepping back. This time he's holding his ground and he just let it fly. This could have happened a lot earlier.
Let him go, Lennox. Let him go.
Why he was stepping back, I don't know.
Once he found the uppercut, it was like the genie in the bottle. Now Mavrovic lands an uppercut of his own and says, here's another one.
But Lewis just give him the elbows and say, back away. And I think Mavrovic should move around there. Let this guy, step back, feel the consequences of being out there for 2 more rounds and then jump back on Lewis.
As Lennox is raking him, he hit the body with the left hook, and now Chris landed another uppercut, and you're right. Mavrovic's mobility is going away, and he'll need it.
He shouldn't bring it on to him as much.
Well, the good thing that Mavrovic is doing so far is that he is avoiding Lennox Lewis's best punches, big right hand.
For some reason, he has a little knack to be out of the way.
He is concentrated on trying to land his own right and trying to block or get away from Lennox Lewis's right.
Now Lewis is standing his ground with those big arms, put him up over his head. That's an awful hard defense to penetrate.
Hard left hand lands for Mavrovic. Flush on the jaw of Lewis. May have done nothing more than to wake the champion up a little bit. 2 uppercuts landing flush for Mavrovic. And another, and a right cross, and a left hook. And suddenly it's all Mavrovic as he lands flush on Lennox Lennox Lewis with a series of combinations.
What a turn of events.
Lewis sat around and allowed him to get back into the fight.
Lewis thought he had it all his own way.
And now Lewis cuts loose with a right cross that backs Mavrovic back up.
Stop! Break!
Boy, that's when it gets to be rough when a guy 240 somewhat pounds starts leaning on you.
Crowd-pleasing round for Yelena Balabanec and all the Mavrovic supporters in Connecticut. Can they hear it all the way to Croatia? Mavrovic threw 54 punches.
Bang, 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 bang underneath. How you feel? Okay? You all right? How much is each? 5 rounds to go.
I hear it's close fight. Get his ass on out of here. Get him on out of here, son.
Stay straight when you're against the ropes, man. Stay on the floor. Not against the rope. Make yourself smaller.
Here is that rally that started in the middle of the ring and went on to the ropes. Mavrovic landing a series of good punches, but taking one in his own late in the round. A good left followed by a stiff right. And you heard Emanuel Stewart saying to Lewis, get him out of here. Lewis didn't like what happened in that round. I'm sorry, Stewart didn't.
I can't imagine Lewis liked it that much either.
Everything was going Lewis's way, got a little lackadaisical, caught a few punches.
Every round that goes by, the challenger profits.
Right hand landed. Mavrovic has taken those right hand shots pretty well when they found the target.
All right, stop. Break.
Emanuel Stewart asking Lewis to go ahead and get him out of there. What would be the best way to get him out of here?
He's going to have to put 1, 2, 3 together. It's not going to happen with the 1-2 shot that he's trying. You got to fake your right hand, throw it 1-2 first, and then come back with 1, 2, 3. You'll get him. This old methodical 1-2. This challenger is willing to take that shot.
Is 3 the left hook that Lennox is so often reluctant to throw?
Yeah, is that left hook?
And there it is. He lands the left hook this time.
There you go, 4 shots that time.
There you go. Combination landing on the face of Mavrovic. Another uppercut lands for Lewis as he lures Mavrovic into coming forward.
Every now and then Lewis does nothing, so why shouldn't he throw some?
Lewis actually blocked the punch that time.
Stop, let him go.
Mavrovic landed the second one.
Good right hand by the challenger.
Stop. Break.
Lewis would only stand a little taller. He wouldn't have to worry about those right hands. He has a tendency to just stick his head right out there when he should be sticking his hand.
Yeah, and when he sets his feet as wide apart as is sometimes the case, he isn't 6'4" anymore.
No, why be 6'4" and don't use it?
Stop. Break.
Let him go, Lennox. Let him go, Zeljko.
Zeljko.
Stop. Break.
Right hand by Mavrovic, uppercut by Lewis answers.
Stop punching.
Now we'll find out what kind of shape these fighters are in. Mavrovic been training for 11 months and appears to be a little bit fresher.
Yeah, he's paid his dues. He's lost the weight.
Let him go, Lennox. You're still holding.
Lewis, you go in the trainer.
Well, there are an awful lot of fighters in the heavyweight division who are asleep now as the result of that particular Lewis right hand. But Mavrovic took it.
Sit down, babe. Listen, you heard him a couple of times then, but he's seen that right hand coming. He's trying his own right hand underneath. Try and fake him with the right hand and give him the left up. caught him with a left uppercut because he's open as he comes in. He's blowing really tired now. Breathe up.
Come on, breathe up, folks. Come on.
Come on, breathe up.
We're still in this fight. Come on. Come on, if you want to win, you got to
Start pushing him back, man. It's just
Give me another pound. Give me another pound.
Breathe out.
Breathe out. Give me another pound. Give me another pound. Give me a towel. Give me a towel right here. You got to get ready to go to work now.
Stay with the speed. Believe me. Forget the power. Stay with the speed. And have your balance again. There's a good uppercut by Lewis. Perhaps his most effective blow in this fight since he landed a lot of jabs earlier. Manuel Stewart said that this challenger was very, very difficult to look good against. He had some awkward athletic skills, and he's obviously pretty tough hombre, takes a good punch, in supreme condition.
Stewart looks like a prophet right now. He's the one who said that he thought Mavrovic would be Lewis's toughest opponent since the Mercer fight, and a lot of people laughed at that, particularly considering the fact that there were no shortage of pundits who picked Andrew Galata to beat Lewis a year ago before Lewis knocked him out in the first. But Mavrovic has been difficult for the champion.
Nasty hook that's making a difference now. Lewis would feint sometimes his right hand, just feint it, and then throw the hook.
Stop.
The guy flinches, he knows the right hand is coming, he prepares for the shot, just feint, and then come back with the hook.
You got to be right hand conscious when you're facing Lennox Lewis. That's why his left foot should be effective.
But when you train, you have a training camp, all training camp. Worry about the right hand, so it doesn't hurt as much.
Stop.
And his corner told him to
Step back.
kind of feint a little bit.
Yeah, Mavrovic's corner asking him to fake with the right hand and throw a left, which he just did.
Lewis, whenever he steps forward, drops his hand and lowers his body.
Low blow again by Lewis. On the offside, away from Cappuccino. Oh, now he talks. Good warning.
Who, me? Yeah, you.
With his jab. Comes right back with his jab. He can do this all night. Why he chooses not to is a strange thing. As long as you have a good left jab, you don't have to get into a fight.
Well, Evander Holyfield went 12 rounds. Vaughn Bean last weekend. Didn't knock him down until the very late rounds. Lennox Lewis has never in his career scored a knockout past the 8th round. He knocked out Phil Jackson of Miami in the 8th round a few years back. So if all goes according to form, it looks like Lewis, like Holyfield a week ago, is headed for a route-going performance against a relatively unknown challenger.
Now he's using his legs, jabbing. Sometimes you have to concede. I'm not going to get a knockout that easy. I'm going to have to box. You can still earn your money boxing.
Well, and when he stands up tall, uses his stature, moves on his feet and fires his jab, who's going to beat him?
No one. The guy has the whole package. He only decides to use it. He allows this guy to just stand in front of him.
Looks beautiful that round. Well, you're fighting like a chef. You're tired, but you're fighting while you're tired, okay? Boxing good. When you start doing different things to this man, it confuses him. He never counter-punches you. As long as you punch him, most he'll try to do is make you miss. If you keep punching, you don't have to worry about getting hit with him. He only punches when you sit and you lay in the rope so you wait on him. If you keep dancing with him, he won't punch.
This is a punch we haven't seen Lennox Lewis feature very often in the past, but his awkward opponent is coming in such an orthodox way that that's what seems open.
3-round fight. Come on, then, well, let's see it. We want to see it. Come on. Come on, that guy. 3
good rounds, okay? If you want to win this fight, you got to have 3 good rounds. Yes. Austin, side to side and throw.
Come on.
All the way back.
Well, so in case you're wondering whether the scoring might be close going into the 10th round, you would note that CompuBox numbers have Lewis throwing 150 more punches than his opponent to this point in the bout. Harold, how do you have it through now?
Jim, I'll tell you, I don't think it's close at all. Even in that big 7th round that Zeljko Mavrovic had, at the end of the round, Lennox blasted him with a right hand that had Mavrovic so hard he was hanging on for dear life. I got it 8 rounds to 1, 89-82. Lennox Lewis, I think he's walking away with it. I think this guy being the lighter guy has just got to go out there and start throwing some punches. Lennox, the big guy, ponderous as heck with a slow pushing jab, is still out punching him by a mile. It's all Lennox Lewis based on clean punches.
Lewis is starting to come back with his left hook now. Every now and then, it makes a difference.
No question. In fact,
1, 2, 3.
If he knocks the guy out, which at this point looks unlikely, but if he does get the knockout, I'll predict it's going to come off of a left hook or an uppercut, not the crushing right hand.
Well, unless he throws enough of them, one after another, stepping back.
There's another flush uppercut.
Let him go, Lennox.
Doesn't say much about Mavrovic that he keeps getting hit with that punch.
Well, he's determined, and for that reason, he's standing right in front of Lewis, bows his head, and Lewis takes advantage of it. He stands so tall, he can see you when you duck. And he keeps his left hand low and right hand low. Sometimes he'll come right back up.
Let him go. Break. Stop.
Mavrovic trying his own uppercut as Frank Sabatino hit right hand. Right hand lead lands for Zeljko.
Because Lewis stands around and just stands in front of him and say, come on, do something.
Standing around with his hands below his waist. Tempting fate is Lennox Lewis.
You really got to be careful when he decides to pick him up to his chest. Now Lewis is starting to coast a little bit. He's boxing and coasting. This is when the danger strikes.
Danger for whom?
Lennox Lewis, because he's coasting without anything in mind. And this is what you want. When you're a challenger, to catch your champion coasting and just attack him. Go for broke. Doesn't matter if you get cut, go for broke.
Relatively slow-paced heavyweight title fight going into the closing rounds. Lennox Lewis bouncing, hopping the jab occasionally, posting on what would appear to be a solid lead on the scorecards against Zeljko Mavrovic.
He's playing with fire. Dropping his hand. Bell! His hand shouldn't be down.
Okay?
2-round fight. 2-round fight.
You're not throwing anything. Just
Two-round fight.
doing his business. And he's so bloody tired. And you let him get away with it. He's laughing and smiling. You know why he's laughing and smiling? Because he knows that he can kick to you and you're not doing anything about it. He's tired, Joker.
He is definitely tired. I'm not bullshitting you. He's very tired. Breathe out, boys. Breathe out.
Take your time. Go back to the short shots now. Short shot.
The little right hand lead is working too now. He's tired. He can't see it. Look, shoot it back out. Keep doing all those different things, and you're making him have to move, and he's not used to moving.
There you see the right hand that Mavrovic landed, but he doesn't follow up with anything. A, he's not a big puncher, and Lewis knows it. And B, he's not doing anything about it.
Let's go.
Elena Balabatic not quite as happy as was the case back in round number 7 when she thought her man had it going. And you heard Darky Smith scathingly attacking his fighter between rounds, saying, "You're making it easy for him." Both trainers telling their fighters that the opponent is tired. Probably right. After all, they've gone 10.
Break, step back. He's starting to land a good right hand here and there. But he doesn't come back with anything. If he tries to throw 3 shots, it'll be a little better. When you're fighting a guy who throws 1 shot at a time like that, you just wait. Just brace yourself and do what you're going to do.
Stop. Break.
And we go back to the theme that began the evening. If Lewis's job was to galvanize public support for the notion that Evander Holyfield absolutely must sign to fight him because he's so good. It's unlikely, it seems to me, that he's made that case effectively with the public tonight.
I think he should forget about Evander Holyfield and just have a dose of that guy who looked in the river and saw himself. Who was that? Narcissist. Yeah, they're narcissists. Hey, you're a champion of the world. Forget those guys. Who are they? Good left hook to the body again. Terrific left hook to the body.
Lewis has thrown some of his most effective body shots ever in this fight. Of course, he's had a lot of rounds in which to do it.
And the guy's tall enough so he can have a long waist.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
He can get under that waist and hit one of those shots.
Lewis, in his 9 heavyweight title defenses, has only gone 12 rounds once. That was against Tony Tucker 5 years ago in 1993. Yeah, he is tired.
Let's keep it straight. When someone puts their hand behind your neck like that, it takes a lot out of it.
Mavrovic himself has only been in the 12th round one time. So if in fact this round completes, then a minute and a half from now, both fighters will be going to the 12th round for only the second time in their careers. Crowd applauds as they get a little action in the last 30 seconds of round 11. Mavrovic just doesn't have much left, and Lewis is treating him with total disrespect now.
But Lennox doesn't have much left himself. I mean, he's almost rubbery.
Ooh, that's what he's been trying to do all night. Step back and throw that right in.
So it's Mondo Exhausto for Lennox Lewis as he stares at the possibility of 3 more frustrating minutes with Zeljko Mavrovic.
Thank you. No, you didn't see the side over there. Okay. You're looking great. The right hand leads us, so he's tired. He can't see him. Take him on out of here this round, okay? You got him going. He's finished now. No, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay? He's finished. Throw the uppercuts on him. Throw him at him.
Come on, breathe out.
Breathe out. Just throw the uppercuts. All right? You better work non-stop all the time, man. Okay? Come on, he's coming in close.
The challenger must have a pretty good chin.
He has one.
For a 215-pound guy against a big heavyweight to take this kind of stuff.
Just about your body weight, but we can keep going. The right hand lead. Dig down. He was short. He quick. Just dig down. Make sure your balance is right.
Mavrovic's girlfriend, Yelena Balavanic, looking for the moment as though she doesn't really enjoy boxing all that much. Final round. This heavyweight title fight.
Come on.
First ever in the state of Connecticut. First in New England since Ali Liston Touche.
Lewis is having some problems with his right eye also here. So I didn't see them work the inch well on it. This guy, you gotta go broke. You gotta go broke. If you're the challenger now, you just can't sit back and wait. You just jump on him and forget about it.
Well, you heard Darky Smith asking his fighter for non-stop action in the 12th, and within the limits of his exhaustion, Mavrovic is probably trying to give it to him.
You just can't hold back anything. This is your chance to be champion of the world. You can't decide. I was waiting. I was cooling off. I was coasting.
And Stewart told Lewis that he could knock him out with right hand leads, so he tried one right there. Lancing blow.
This guy has really frightened Lewis by taking out with super hard right hand. That is a frightening thing. Load up and hit this guy and he comes right back to the next round.
Lewis not frightened enough to hold his hands anywhere below his or above his waist.
I think maybe he doesn't know how to anymore. You got whole training camp of dropping your hands, pick them up every now and then, and you're trying to let you get away with it.
It is exhausting to hold your hands up around your face for 12 rounds.
Especially if you have about 250 pounds.
That's right.
And your guy, whoa.
Lennox kind of jumping with the right hand lead there. That one lands hard.
He's making Lennox Lewis fight. Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, would be perfectly content to dance the rest of the round.
The other guy makes him fight, but he only throws one good right hand at a time.
Lewis switching to a southpaw stance. How about that?
Take over Jim, tell him, make some history. Moments will be captured with Jim's word.
Oh, thank you so much, George, but there's not much drama here as we come down the stretch of what has been, for the second consecutive week, a case of a heavyweight champion struggling harder than we might have expected to put away a relatively nameless opponent. It happened in Atlanta last Saturday night. It happens here tonight. There's virtually no chance that Lewis could lose the fight at this point. But most of his fans and supporters came here not expecting to have to sweat out a 12-round decision against a vegetarian from Croatia who's never been heard of on this side of the planet.
I think you sneak a steak in somewhere in there.
Maybe one.
Yeah, he's putting the meat to Lennox Lewis this round.
They go the distance.
Seems to me that Lennox Lewis was more prepared for a sprint than a long-distance race. Might have been a little complacent about this fight, as Evander Holyfield might have been a week ago.
Well, their attentions, it seems to me, are necessarily focused on each other, day by day, week by week, month by month. How easy is it to go in and try to fight your best fight when you're thinking more about Evander Holyfield when you go to sleep at night than Zeljko Mavrovic?
Each fighter was trying for a knockout tonight. Neither one tried to pile up a lot of points. The points just came coincidentally. No doubt the champs were the best as far as I'm concerned.
The Croatian took a tremendous amount of punishment. Unorthodox, awkward, defensive-minded for the most part. Got through the fight. No chance to win. And didn't.
Took that right cross, took that left hook, stood up through 12 rounds. Looks a little the worse for wear for it, but just as Emmanuel Stewart suggested would be the case, Mavrovic's athletic qualities and his style of fighting pose problems for Lewis that frustrate the champion and lead to what we expect will be a 12-round decision rather than the knockout. Let's see how Harold Letterman scored the full 12 rounds.
Jim, I got it mercifully 10 rounds to 2. 118, 110, Lennox Lewis. I mean, you got to punch to win, and Zeljko Mavrovic didn't punch. He was lighter, quicker, faster. He jumped on top of Lennox Lewis, but he just didn't pull the trigger. Lennox landed the big shots. Lennox was the busier guy. I hated to see the heavyweight champion with his eyes all swollen like that, blood coming out of his mouth, but even still, Mavrovic didn't land a heck of a lot of good shots, Jim. But certainly Lennox deserves this. 10-2.
Good point, Harold. George, if you're going to pull off the Michael Spinks versus Larry Holmes act, which was in effect what Mavrovic was attempting here tonight, you better throw 70, 80 punches per round.
It was all 1-2 all night. It was never 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything done in twos. And you just don't get the judges.
Mavrovic averaged only 25 punches per round. And we're ready for the final decision right now. Let's go up to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Mohegan Sun Casino, we go to the Budweiser scorecards. Tommy Kazmarek has it 119 to 109. Bob Logis scores it 117 to 112. And Francisco Chimale scores it 117 to 111 for the winner by unanimous decision and still WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox
Very interesting. The Belgian judge gave the first. Well, he gave Mavrovic 2 of the first 3 rounds in the fight, called the other one even. So early on, the Belgian judge had Mavrovic ahead in the fight. And indeed, the Italian judge, scored 2 of the first 3 rounds for Mavrovic. So all 3 judges had Lennox winning virtually every round down the stretch. Final crunch that numbers show Lewis landing 84 more punches, throwing 209 more punches, and landing at about the same connect percentage as Mavrovic. The 44% connect percentage for Mavrovic, 45% for jabs, showing once again one of the chinks in Lewis's armor. He's easier to hit than his trainers and handlers would like for him to be.
Yeah, he needs to integrate into his repertoire some landing of punches and without power. A little better. Everything is tight.
Maybe a little head movement. Maybe standing taller in the ring. There are any number of ways you could go. Let's go to Larry Merchant with the winner and still champ, Lennox Lewis.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Lennox. Why was he such a difficult opponent?
You know, you have to remember, he's undefeated. Plus, I trained wrong. I thought he was going to run. So I was moving around after my sparring opponent. But, you know, it's a mistake I won't make again.
It seemed that 2/3 of the way through the fight, you were already tired. Were you complacent for this unknown opponent?
Not really. Like I said, I trained wrong. I basically went after my opponents in training. You know, it's just something that happens, and it's a learning experience.
Well, why were you huffing and puffing so much over the last few rounds?
Well, basically, I was on my toes. He wasn't on his toes. I was on my toes.
You said unequivocally before the fight you wanted to make a statement here. You wanted to show the difference between you and Evander Holyfield. Are you disappointed that you couldn't make the statement you wanted to make?
Not really. I made the statement that I can adjust in the ring. Holyfield made a statement that he can adjust in the ring. Some opponents give you a hard time in there. You know, when you're number one in the world, they train very hard and they dedicate a lot. You know, I'm sure that guy Von Bean trained hard for Evander Holyfield.
Do you know of any forward developments in negotiations to fight Evander Holyfield?
Well, Holyfield said I'm a wanted man, so he knows where to find me.
Is it about time you two guys fought before you lose total interest against other opponents and one of you gets knocked off?
Yeah, you know, I totally agree with that. It's up to Holyfield to sign the contract, so everybody that sees Holyfield, tell him to get the fight together and stop mucking about.
Thank you very much.
Enough respect.
Jim?
All right. Those are the words of Lennox Lewis after this victory. One specter that now faces boxing fans as they wait and wait and wait for the anticipated